This title is not clickbait. Somebody did take our dog. How is it going, everybody? It is a beautiful day here on our Minnesota homestead. And I have an absolutely crazy, at least I think it's crazy, story to tell you. Now, I'm gonna try to give a little bit of grace here, but sometimes people really make me scratch my head like, what are you thinking? And I'm gonna tell you about that right now, but first I'm gonna go get the garbage. All right, so we live out in the country here. It's less country than it used to be, but it's still the country, and we generally speaking let our dog be loose on the property, and she doesn't run off usually. In fact, I don't think we've ever had her run off. The other day we were kids were outside, had Pixel outside with them, and she often kind of goes and plays with them and walks around with them, and so she was outside with them, and I was up in the house, and I just happened to be looking out the front window, and I noticed that there was a car parked down by the gate. And I thought, well, that's kind of weird. Not exactly a popular turnaround spot. And about the time I noticed them, they backed out and drove off. Now, I didn't think much of it at that point. I just thought, somebody turned around. I was keeping my eye on them, but I thought, well, maybe someone was lost. Sarah thought, well, maybe it was a delivery person. You know, maybe FedEx is contracting delivery or something. But then Lawrence came inside and said, some lady just jumped the gate. She was crawling over the gate, and I thought, what? Sarah was thinking we had a delivery coming that day. So I thought to myself, well, I bet somebody just stole a package. I bet we had a package sitting on the gate. Sometimes they just leave it on our side of the gate. And I thought, I bet there's a package down there and somebody stole it. That is not completely common around here. In fact, I wouldn't say it's common at all. Kind of the world we're heading into here, it appears. Who knows, you know? I don't know if crime's gonna increase around here. Maybe it will. So we took off and headed down here to the gate to see if we had a package, if anything was gone, maybe try to figure out what was going on. So Sarah and I walked down here. We get here, and outside of some footprints around, I don't see anything. We checked the mailbox. They didn't take anything out of the mailbox. I have an automatic gate opener right here. It actually needs to be fixed, and so I have it disconnected. I thought, well, maybe they were trying to steal that, but that was there and fine. So we really couldn't figure it out. So we ended up locking the gate that I just unlocked, and we figured, well, must be nothing. So we headed back up to the house. Hold on here, I gotta go get the garbage can, and I have a new monopod here. We're gonna test it and see if the entire camera tips over. I wanna take a bet on whether it'll stay or not. Look at that, it actually stayed. So anyway, we closed the gate, we end up getting back up to the house and sit down and go about our normal business. By that time, all the kids had gotten into the house. And so it was maybe 10 minutes later, Sarah said, "Where's the dog?" And it was in that moment that both Sarah and myself kind of had one of those moments where we were like, oh great, somebody stole our dog. I'd asked Lawrence, have you seen the dog? He said, haven't seen the dog. She was out there with us and then she ran off, but I haven't seen her recently. Now we've had a bunch of things going on around here, some of which we haven't really shared with you yet, and we will in time. But suffice it to say, we've had a really rough few weeks here, and when Sarah sort of realized that somebody might have taken our dog, she just broke down. And she looked at me and said, I can't handle this too right now. Funny thing is, Sarah always talks about how much she hates the dog. She's just joking because she really loved our last dog, and so I think she doesn't want any dog to be the replacement of the last dog. But the reality is Pixel, our cute little pit bull, has really grown on everybody. Everybody loves the dog. She's crazy, but she's a sweet little thing. So I sent Lawrence out to go look for her. He couldn't find her. We thought maybe she went to the other place over by where my parents live. She wasn't over there. My dad was out splitting some firewood. Thought, well, maybe she's out in the woods with him. No. So at this moment, I basically completely accepted that someone stole our little dog and that we were never going to get her back and that we weren't going to see her ever again. Which, you know, those emotions aren't fun or pleasant. Anyway, around where we live here, we have this like local Facebook group. Now Sarah, she's an introvert, but she's way more social than I am. I would never join the group like that, but she's joined it, and it's a bunch of the local communities on there, and they post all kinds of things, half of which drive people nuts. But she figured, I better go check this Facebook group because maybe somebody has our dog. So that's what she was thinking. She go check it out, and honestly, when she did that, I thought, nothing's gonna come of this. There, you know, yeah, nothing's gonna come of it. About 10 minutes later, I hear Sarah gasp and say, "That's my dog, that's my dog." Somebody did post her on Facebook. So Sarah frantically, you know, called and was texting and trying to get a number to figure out where we could pick her up at. And I got in the truck and started taking off to go get the dog. So about that time, Sarah, she's talking to her, she starts asking her, well, where was the dog, you know? And the lady just kind of just said some things but didn't really answer the question. Well, she was down by that, you know, that yard with that big fence and the gate. Sarah said, oh, that's our yard. Yeah, you heard that right. This lady rescued our dog from our own front yard. So that happened. And this is this is where I'm going to get a bit in a rant. Now, I'm going to be completely fair to this lady. First, I don't know her name. I'm not going to use it. I don't know it. And I want to say that her heart was in the right place, you know. She has pit bulls. She saw a loose pit bull, loose behind a fence on my property, but still not on a leash. And she said that she was just so concerned somebody might hurt her because of the way people feel about pit bulls. Okay, I gave her the benefit of the doubt there, and I'm giving her some grace. But what kind of world do we live in that somebody goes, jumps a fence, which again, Lawrence saw her do, to chase down a dog that's in somebody's yard to quote-unquote rescue the dog? Like, this is just completely foreign to me. Like, scratch my head, wonder what in the world? How is this like normal behavior? So I went there and I got my dog back. And I was nice to the lady, if for no other reason than I wanted to get my dog back. Like, I look at that and just think, as a kid, I would have never done that. Like, even as a kid. Why? Well, if for no other reason than you hop somebody's gate that's locked, you might get yourself shot. I mean, that's how I was raised. Like, I was raised with You didn't trespass on people's property. Jumping somebody's fence or gate, especially when it's locked, is just something I would never, ever do. I wouldn't do it today. I wouldn't have done it as a kid. I don't know. Kind of makes me wonder about people. Anyway, we got the puppy back. Life is good. I've noticed that there are a bunch of you who are subscribed to the channel who aren't getting notifications. So if you look down on your screen and there's a little bell and you don't have that selected, go ahead and select it and you'll get notified when we release a new video. Click on the bell. If you haven't subscribed and you made it this far, you might as well subscribe. Yeah, and we're gonna have a bunch of other content. There's just so much that's gonna be happening, and I'm gonna try to get something out to you every other day, even if it's just something like this. So until next time, see ya.